There's
Hey,
Danny.
hey. Yeah.
Hi, Danny.
Hey,
Hey, it's
Mark.
Mark Marinuzzi from World Centric.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing really good. Doing really good.
I was just giving a quick introduction of you as the president and founder of Before the Butcher. I love
Yes.
that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, first of all, happy Earth Day. I'm
Thank you so
glad you
much.
could join us today. You look like you're outside right now. Looks beautiful out.
Well, yeah. I mean, you need to enjoy Earth Day outside, don't you? Isn't that part of the
Yeah,
policy and rules for
I,
this
I,
is
I think that's a given. I
yeah.
think that's a given.
This is I'm in
I'm
my
indoors
back.
right now only because this is the best part of where I am that has a good cell phone signal. Otherwise, I'd be outside, but you wouldn't be able to see me. So,
I got you. I got you. Well,
uh,
this is my backyard, so it's not so bad.
no, not bad at all. Well, so Danny, you're the visionary behind Before the Butcher and the Uncut product line. So maybe we could start by asking you, tell us a little bit about Before the Butcher.
Well, I'm going to take you back a little bit and tell you a little bit about my history in plant-based and how I got started and motivated to start Before the Butcher. I worked with the innovator and leader in the industry today, Beyond Meat, for about 3 years before I broke away in 2017 and started Before the Butcher. Really, my motivation at that time was um, twofold. One was I thought there truly was an opportunity to do so much more and provide additional products that weren't on the market at that time. And I also saw that we were ready for something that was going to explode very quickly, and we were going to need other providers out there to be able to provide the type of products that the consumer was looking for. And those are a couple of reasons why I jumped out there and thought I could go out there and do something and produce plant-based meats like we are today.
That's terrific. And you've, it seems like even innovated to some extent a little faster than Impossible and some of the others from what I've seen. So maybe you can talk a little bit about the Uncut product line, because I know it's not just like a beef plant-based replacement. You have other products as well. Maybe you can talk about that.
Well, Mark, when we started, we actually started in food service, and our goal was to provide a variety that our competitors out in the market weren't doing at that time. So when we released into food service in April of 2018, we had 8 SKUs at that time. We didn't have the burger at that time, but we had a pulled pork, we had chicken chunks, beef tips, a beef like grind, Italian chorizo, and a whole really great variety of products that were unique to the industry at that time, that were really had the bite and chew and texture similar to animal-based proteins. And then as we continue to evolve, we got into the burger, and we were the third one to come out with a plant-based burger similar to what Beyond Meat did and Impossible did. And then we continued on our path, which was to provide a variety. And now we have what we call the first family of plant-based patties. And so we have our Uncut, the original Uncut plant-based burger, which is like a beef burger. And we also have our Uncut savory chicken burger and our Uncut roasted turkey burger, and then our award-winning Uncut sausage patty, which is like a breakfast sausage patty. So those are all in the market today, both in food service and retail.
Excuse me. And so you talk about these innovations, but maybe you can talk to me a little bit about what sets you apart in terms of how they're created from, say, like Impossible or some of the others.
So we're proud of the fact that all of our products are gluten-free, but we're also non-GMO. All of the Uncut products are non-GMO. We do use a natural soy base as our product lineup. So, and we believe soy is the best complete plant protein that you could get on the market, and it's evolved over thousands of years, and so it's really a great protein. And then we also believe we have better nutritionals. We have fewer ingredients and we have lower sodium. So for us, we have our 4 ounce burger, our original burger has 260 milligrams of sodium, which is fairly low in the industry. In fact, I don't know anybody that's even really close to it. Most of our competitors on version 2 or version 3 are in the high 300s, pushing 400 milligrams and upwards of 600 or 700 milligrams of sodium. And that
Wow.
is really important to people.
Wow. That's a lot, you know, for
Yeah.
folks that have high blood pressure or other, you know, issues that sodium affects them. I think that's really wonderful. So, you know, and, you know, thinking about this from the standpoint of health, you know, when a lot of folks are switching over to a plant-based diet, they say that they're, you know, sort of exchanging taste and they're exchanging, you know, sort of the experience of having a meat. How do you feel that Before the Butcher and Uncut products sort of satisfy that need? You know, you talked about mouthfeel a little bit. Maybe you can discuss that a little bit further.
Well, we think that the bite, the chew, the texture is really important. You know, fortunately, I have a fantastic R&D team that has done an amazing job of helping us mimic what people are used to and the comfort that they have with animal-based proteins. And so the bite, the chew, the texture, in addition to the flavor. But what people are looking for is something that's really delicious, right? When you're trying a product, I think most people would say, "Hey, look, I'm okay with plant-based if it's really good," and our products are really, really good. And when you dress up a burger, most people don't eat a burger by itself, right? You dress it up. You put it on a bun. You add lettuce, tomato, onions, ketchup, mustard, whatever you like, cheese. When you dress up our burger and you compare it to a beef burger or a turkey burger to a turkey burger or a sausage patty to what you would have as normally maybe a pork sausage patty, you're going to find the experience is really, really close. In fact, a lot of people just wouldn't know the difference. It's that good.
What about in terms of cooking and using it as an ingredient? Does it work pretty much the same as you know, an actual meat? So let's say, for example, I'm making a casserole or lasagna or, you know, something along those lines. Does it work the same?
It's really similar. Our products tend to cook a little bit faster. So like anything else, when you're in the kitchen cooking and playing around, whether you're an operator with a restaurant or you're just doing it in your home kitchen, there's a little bit of trial and error, but generally speaking, our products will cook up a little bit faster, maybe 15 to 20% faster than an animal-based product. But it's really similar, very similar to cooking animal-based products, and they match up really well as well. They hold up the texture and the product itself. When you're talking about our grounds, and we are getting ready to release our grounds into retail, a brand new lineup of what we call our first family of plant-based grounds. So we will have a taco ground, our regular ground, which would be comparable to a beef ground, also our breakfast ground, and our Italian ground, which is amazing. I made some the other day, literally took this product in my hand, rolled it up into a meatball, added a little bit of spice, no binder, and I had a meatball. Just cooked it in a pan. It was fantastic.
Well, I just saw IKEA just released the recipe so you can make their meatballs at home. Maybe you need to make a Before the Butcher IKEA meatball.
Our products are a little bit different than what IKEA has on the market. The way we make our products generally you wouldn't be able to do at home because of the science behind it and the technology behind it. But that's actually a very good product as well.
Yeah, they had their recipe online, so if you were pining for their meatballs, you could make it on your own with pork and with beef.
Yeah.
Well, it does bring up a good point. Do you have recipes on the website and on the packaging so that if somebody says, "Hey, you know, I need help," that they could actually get some ideas from you folks? And would those recipes have the adaptation for the temperature and the timing you were talking about?
Yes, actually, we do. We have some really great recipes on our website. If you just go eatuncut.com, you can go to our recipe page and pull up all our fantastic recipes. And they're all adapted according to the time and how to make them. But they're all very familiar, comfortable recipes, things that you would normally make with animal-based products that most people are comfortable with and love to eat themselves or with their family.
That's great. So it's eatuncut.com
Right.
is the website to go. Okay, great. Yeah. I want to shift here, for example, about shifting into more of the discussion around why to move towards a primarily plant-based diet. And being that it's Earth Day, I think it's a great opportunity for you to explain to us a little bit why plant-based diet is superior, not only in terms of taste now, but in terms of sustainability.
Well, it's important to recognize why people are shifting this direction because there's various different reasons they're doing it. Some people, and I like to apply it to generations. As some people, generally the older generations, which maybe the baby boomers would be more concerned about their health and looking for healthier options. We go into the doctor says, hey, look, you need to lose a few pounds, you need to be more active, and you need to eat better. And when you ask the doctor, well, how do I eat better? What's the first thing that doctor's probably going to say? Eat more plant-based, right? All of us are used to our own comfort foods. And if those comfort foods are surrounded by animal-based proteins, your best alternative to make a shift would be able to find a plant-based protein that comes close to mimicking what you're used to in an animal-based protein. So, so our products do that, and there's no cholesterol. So, and we know how important that is, and how that affects your heart and cancer and so many other things that may be attributed to eating animal-based proteins. And so that's what I see on the health side for our own personal selves. When you're looking at millennials or maybe X-gens and millennials and a little bit further down, I think you're looking at a generation or generations that are very concerned about the environment. They're very concerned about where we are today and more importantly, where we're going to be tomorrow and how their children are going to live their lives based on what we do today. And so when we talk about the environment, we talk about using less resources and creating less greenhouse gases, using less water, and conserving energy, right? And we do all that with plant-based. There was a study by the University of Michigan a couple of years, I think it was in 2018, and they compared a 4-ounce plant-based burger to a 4-ounce beef burger and the resources that it took to produce those products overall. And when they talked about the greenhouse gases, the 4-ounce plant-based burger generally produced about 90% less greenhouse gases than a beef burger.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. But listen to this number. It also used about 99% less water.
Mm.
And that's a huge resource that we have to be, you're very concerned about as we move forward. And then it also required much less energy, so about 46% of the energy that you would need for a beef burger. So those are really important things when it comes to our environment and a day like today when we're talking about our Earth and how important our Earth is to us, because the health of our planet is our own personal health, right?
Yeah.
If our planet isn't healthy, how are we going to be healthy? And we have to think about that, each one of us individually. So the last thing in regards to plant-based and how people are considering or thinking about or shifting are certainly and more on the younger generations is animals and animal cruelty and what we're doing in mass farming, animal farming. And the concern that even very young children, and I hear it from mothers and fathers who come up to me and say, hey, Danny, you know, my 8-year-old daughter or my 10-year-old son has decided he doesn't want to eat animal products, or she doesn't want to eat animal products. And of course I say, well, why did he or she make that decision? And almost inevitably, that child watched a video on factory farming,
Mm-hmm.
and saw the cruelty behind that and said, I'm not going to eat, you know, Bessie the cow, or Joey the pig, or, you know, any other animal out there. And they're going to make the shift. And when they make that shift, the family makes a shift as well. And I think we're seeing that across the board.
Oh, absolutely. I know in my own personal experience, my daughter and my wife are both vegetarians, and my daughter's done a lot of volunteer work for Polar Bears International. And when she started doing that, it really started affecting not only my son and myself and becoming more plant-based, but all of her friends. I mean, it takes that pebble that ripples out. And, you know, circling back to what you're doing, you know, when it ripples out, it also shows people that, hey, you don't have to miss the taste, the mouthfeel, the capability of being versatile in cooking. It's all still there. But, you know, what we like to talk about, folks like us, you know, life cycle assessments, it's less water, it's less energy, it's less emissions. I'd be curious, I got to imagine it's probably also less in terms of, you know, cutting down, you know, areas of the world where we're, you know, turning them into pastures for cattle. You know, the impact on the environment and on indigenous people with your product is probably a lot less in growing the plant-based products, that ingredients that you're using, versus having cows in areas where there used to be rainforest, or used to be you know, forests that could be doing better things for us right now, for our population.
Well, trees are really important. And I bring that up because, you know, this being Earth Week as a whole, and Friday is Arbor Day, and a time for us to think about trees, like the trees I have in my backyard here, and how important it is to us living every single day and cleaning the air, and talking about, you know, deforestation, and what we're doing as human beings to our planet. We all have to be aware of that. And planting trees is really important. In fact, I made a donation myself personally this week for Arbor Day, and they have a website called timefortrees.org, where you can go and donate, and they have a goal of planting. I'm probably going to come up with the wrong number. I believe 100 million trees by 2022, Arbor Day 2022, in 2 years. That is amazing. They're not going to do it by themselves. They're going to need help. And this is how we save our planet.
Mm-hmm.
Individually, one by one, we can do that. We can make that personal choice. You know, corporations and companies will most certainly help and can help, but individually, we can help, and we all need to do our part.
Well, trees are like the alveoli of the Earth's lungs. And right now, our Earth has a little bit of global asthma. Not a little bit, probably a lot.
Right.
And, you know, so the fact that we can do things like that right now, especially this week, are important. Can you tell folks again the website that they can go to donate?
It's called timefortrees.org.
Timefortrees.org.
Right. And it's part of the Arbor Day or Arbor Initiative. They are the ones that are driving that initiative.
That's fantastic. So I want to shift gears for a second in some ways, but maybe not. I'm just curious, how has the pandemic affected things for you and the company?
Well, look, it's certainly a new reality for all of us. It has changed all of our lives. You know, for me as an individual, but also running the company and understanding what we need to do and how we need to adjust. Much of our business was food service oriented. We just got into retail about 5 months ago. and we're doing fairly well in retail. But on the food service side, which is a heavy part, is restaurants and other food service operators came to and at this point in time is almost a complete stop. And it's very challenging to manage a company when all the wheels were turning and all of a sudden the wheels fall off, right? So you make the adjustments. We were fortunate to be in retail as well, and we've done well in retail, but we've only dipped our toe into the water on the retail side. We're in about 800 locations in various parts of the country, very strong in Southern California. And we've been able to actually expand a little bit in retail throughout various parts of Southern California with Whole Foods. And we've gotten into Arizona, Nevada, and Hawaii as well, which has been a real plus for us. But everything for us, even on the retail side, has slowed down a little bit because we anticipated being able to expand into other retail operations. And most retailers just put a halt to all that. They have been scrambling just to fill their shelves, understandably so.
Right, right. But you are in Whole Foods in Southern California and Arizona. Any other parts of the country at this point?
We are. So we're in Texas, in Central Market. We're in the Midwest. We're in Mariano's in Chicago. We're in Pick and Save and Metro Market in Wisconsin. We're in Strachan Van Til in Northern Indiana. We're in Ralph's and Albertsons, Mother's Market in Southern California, as well as Whole Foods.
So I would ask anyone who's watching right now, go out and get some Before the Butcher products, Uncut products, because needless to say, you're going to be supporting Danny and his team, but also, supporting the environment. I have a couple of people asking, First of all, there's a comment here that says, "We want you in Northern California."
I know.
So,
we're working
on
it
because I'm up here.
we are working diligently at that. Our goal is to be in Northern California in the next few months. So just stay in touch with us on Instagram, and you're going to learn as we continue to expand out.
And World Centric, we'll do our part to, mention that as well in the months to come when you launch in Northern California. I have also some folks that are asking whether or not you have any delivery through Instacart or any of the shopping services right now.
We don't, but hang tight. We expect within, we're April now. By the end of May, we will have e-commerce. We will be up on our website that you will be able to order our product straight through our website.
That's terrific. So be able to ship anywhere in the U.S. and Canada?
Yes, correct. Don't know about Canada right now, but certainly anywhere in the U.S. Absolutely in the U.S.
Yeah, we have expanded into Canada over the past couple of years, and they love products like ours, Danny. Yeah. World Centric and Before the Butcher definitely in the wheelhouse of where they're all going for sure. But I love the fact that you're getting into delivery. What about back east? Are you in New York and DC and Boston and those areas yet, or what are the plans for there?
We are in food service. We have nationwide distribution in food service. So if you were to go to our website and look at our restaurant locator, you would see the restaurants that we are. I'm not sure they're open right now, but when the economy jump starts and gets moving again, you'll be able to see where we are on the East Coast and in the upper Northeast and so on and so forth. So we have fairly good coverage on food service throughout the country.
Yeah, and I hope a lot of those folks are going to start doing takeout. Out here in California, that is certainly, I think, been a big lifeline for a lot of restaurants. Is pivoting over to takeout. Do you find that as well with some of your customers right now that takeout has been a good lifeline for them?
I think the challenge with takeout was inevitable, meaning that if you were already used to doing takeout, I think you did fairly well doing that. But if you weren't an operation that was already doing takeout, it is challenging to shift and make that shift because most of your consumer base probably wouldn't think of you as a takeout operation. But we, fortunately, there are quite a few of them, and the delivery services are still available, and there's accessibility that way as well.
So I have to ask, because this comes up for me. I see you have some talented OMalleys as part of your team on LinkedIn. Are any of them related to you, or just by coincidence?
No, it's all in the family. Both of my sons work with me. One of them is a trained chef, Brendan, and he does an amazing job with our products and helps us with all of our trade shows. Don't know how I would do it without him. And then my younger son, Devin, is a whiz when it comes to helping us with marketing and graphics and our sampling program and everything that we do behind the scenes in such a great way. It is amazing to have that type of support from my boys.
Yeah, so it's a family company, and you're doing innovation, and you've got a wonderful future ahead. I think maybe you need to get your boys and put together some videos where they could do some demonstrations of some of the recipes that you have on your site. I think that would be wonderful. If you did that, we would definitely help you to promote it.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that because we've got a couple of things going right now. And last Friday was the first time I did what we call our live demo. And we literally put it on Zoom, and I did a demo like we were at a trade show, and we were able to talk about our products. And then I've also been doing what we call in the kitchen with Uncut. So we're doing cooking demos, and I was on Fox News up in Santa Barbara and Santa Maria. I was on ABC in Wisconsin and NBC in San Antonio. So we're doing that across the country right now, and it's working out really well.
That's fantastic. See, that's exactly what everyone wants right now. Everyone's at home. I mean, how many more episodes of Tiger King can you watch? And true. Things like that are truly some of the best educational entertainment we could possibly have, and they're fun.
Yeah.
So and we'll definitely support that. I love the idea that you're doing that right now. So let me ask you: is there anything that we didn't cover today that you went, Mark? I wish you'd asked me.
Well, I think we've covered a lot, but I always draw back to one thing when I'm asked that at the end of interviews, and I just remind people how important it is that we think about the health of our planet, because the planet's health is our own personal health, and each one of us as individuals can make choices that will make a difference. And if we think about it that way, rather than saying, hey, I'm not going to make the difference, or I can't make the difference, to I can make a difference, we will all make a difference and create a better, healthier planet for ourselves, for our children, and our children's children.
I couldn't agree with you more, and you said it very eloquently. And so, Danny, I really appreciate you taking the time today. I want to thank you and thank your sons and your staff for continuing to do the great work you're doing with Before the Butcher and with Uncut. Again, folks, this is Danny OMalley. He's the president plant and founder of Before the Butcher. I love that.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you taking the time with us today, Danny. And we'll be posting this whole segment, by the way, on our YouTube channel and also on our website, on our World Centric TV page. And we'll share that with you as well. But we wish you the best of luck. Love your products. And we'll continue to support you as you continue to grow now and in the future. So thanks again.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, and everything you guys do over at World Centric as well. Fantastic work. Really love it.
Great. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching. This is Mark Marinozzi of World Centric. We'll sign off now and have a great rest of the Earth Day. Take care.
Take care.